introduce themselves like a working professional or a student. So that will help the trainer to take the class accordingly. Um, Hi Adil, thanks for the response. Can everyone others please introduce yourself? I can see two students. I have got response from very few students only. Can others explain yourself, please? Hi Ash, hi Nikhil. Thanks for the response. Okay, we will start the meeting. Can everyone able to see my screen? Okay. Okay. Is it visible now? Okay. Um, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Hi. Good evening. And this is Vignesh from AP Training. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to AP Training. Before getting into the session, I would like to thank everyone who joined this session to learn this new technology. We started with introduction with our institute. We are running this institute since last year, and we are having lots of courses regarding electrical, electronics, and IT departments. So we have all kind of courses in our training, and everything is online. Every classes will be conducted in online. So we will provide every recordings, everything to you. So this is the introduction of our brief introduction of our institute. And I really appreciate your interest and time you are putting to learn this new technology. So we are having a classes like spoken English class and kind of everything, all IT department sector kind of softwares, everything. We have courses to learn those technology. So let me tell about the webinar content of today. So these are the webinar sessions which is going to happen today. First session will be, sorry, uh, I'm facing some issue. Sorry. First session is participant introduction. I want everyone to introduce yourself, like whether you are a uh, trainee or student or working professional. So it will be helpful for the trainer to get the session. Webinar content, the trainer will take the webinar content actually for the 45 minutes. Then the third session is for queries that will be happen for 20 minutes. Fourth will be students guide. We will give a student teaching methodology we are using in our AP training. Fifth one will be the offers which we are going to give for the students who join the webinar today. And final is queries and feedback session. We will provide the feedback link to you. Once you fill that, you will get a certificate within 1 week of time. Okay. And I want this session to be more interactive so that you guys can get a deep knowledge on it. Whatever doubts you have, you can post your doubts in the chat box and trainer will clear all your doubts. The webinar will be taken by our trainer, Mr. Gautam, who is having vast knowledge on full stack, and he is a certified professional. So let me start with Gautam. Gautam, can you start the session? Gautam? Uh, Sorry, Gautam, we are not able to hear you.
Hey, sorry, I missed actually. Can you repeat it?
Sorry, Gautam, I'm not able to hear you. Guys, can you able to hear Gautam? Or am I facing this issue, or you guys also facing this?
Hello. Guys, can you hear me?
I'm not able to hear you, Gautam. Guys, guys, Gautam will be joining. Gautam is a trainer. He will be joining in 1 or 2 minutes. Sorry for the inconvenience. And
Guys, can you hear me now? Okay, hope I am audible now. So I think if we are done with the introduction, so you can open the PPT.
yes, Gautam. Yes, Gautam. We are done with the introduction, so you can carry on.
Please. Let me introduce myself. So in the meantime, can you please put the PPT in the presentation mode? Let me start. Hi everyone. So I'm Gautam, and I'm working in like a top MNC as a kind of full stack developer. So I do work with a number of tech skills like Angular, React, Node.js, and Java, J2EE, and as well as Azure microservices. So in many of these sectors, I'm currently working on, and DBs like SQL, NoSQLs. So in those areas, and of course in DevOps also I have exposure to it. But yeah, here we will be trying to cover the full stack developer. So I'm not able to see the screen yet. Let me know, guys, if what kind of, in which streamline you are currently like.
Gautam, sorry to interrupt. My screen is visible. Is my screen is visible?
Sorry, between just cut off. Okay, so I was saying, just ping me in the chat box about your whether you are a student or a kind of work that you are doing in IT
Hi,
professional
Gautam.
or
Sorry to interrupt.
yes, tell me.
My screen is visible.
Yeah, I can see now. Okay, I hope you can hear me, right? Okay, let's go ahead. So as you can see in the screen, the full stack development. So I hope everyone aware of what is the full stack development. So if not, so this is the place where you will know what is the full stack development and what are the skill sets we are going to cover when you say full stack developer or full stack development guy, right? So let's proceed. Next slide, please. Yeah. So
Gautam, sorry, your voice is breaking.
Okay, sorry, I'm just getting it cutting off from the call. So in between, sorry for that. So before jumping into the full stack developer skill sets and all, so let me explain the job available in the Indian market and the other markets too, right? So as you can see the kind of bar chart here, you can find a number of jobs in a number of websites which you can see here: Naukri, LinkedIn, Indeed, Shine. So just you can Google it off. So when you just search out full stack developer jobs, so you can see there is a count in each website. So these are the kind of interesting count which is like many industries is trying to acquire a full stack developer. Since a full stack is the kind of which involves a back end and front end, every related other related skill sets. So every MNCs and product, even product based company also is requiring full stack developer guys. So that's a count. You can see every years the count will be increasing. So when I see from last 5 to 6 years, so now the count is like exponentially increased. So moving to the next slide, we can see the average salary of a full stack developer. So which that's what we can see in the next slide. Yeah, here as a fresher, so if you're a fresher and you're having a skill set of full stack developer holding a back end and front end every skill sets, so you will be getting around 7 to 8 lakhs per annum. So that's not quite easy, right? As a fresher to getting around a 6 to 7, 8 lakhs package, right? So having a skill set of like, let's say, assume you have a skill set of Angular alone. So when you enter into the MNCs like market, so you will be paid around 3.5 LPA or 4 LPA, right? So that's how the market trend now. But when you are having a full stack skill set, so this is how this the graph what you see, and that explains your um, salary in lakhs, right? So when you're experienced, let's say you're one of you is experienced once but don't have a full stack developer skill set, but if you learned now, so let's assume you have a 4 years of experience. So of course I would assume you will be around somewhere 6 to 7 lakhs of package. That's a maximum of 4 years of experience guy will have, right? So they can hear around 15 lakhs per annum if you have a full stack developer skill set and when you are switching to a new company, right? So that this is how the market behaves when the full stack developer guy having a skill set of the back end and front end things. So just wanted to give a heads up so how the job trends are in the market, full stack developer skill set. Okay, so moving to the next slide. So now coming to the point, what is full stack? So please move to the next slide. Yeah, what's full stack? So can any one of you in the list, can you put in the chat box what is full stack? Can you go back, please? So I wanted the participants to tell me what is the full stack when we say full stack, right? So what is mean by that? You can ping us in the chat box so everyone will aware of. Anyone? it could be silly. So you can open it up. So that's where your learning skill starts from. Okay, cool. No worries. Moving to the next slide. So coming to
Gautam, your voice is very unclear. It's not clear.
can you hear me now? Is
Yeah,
it
now
clear?
it's fine. Yeah, now it's fine. In between, your voice is breaking.
No, I don't know what was the issue with my Zoom client. I'm in between. I'm getting exit from the meeting, so not sure. So, but still, I will try to manage. Yeah. So let me know, guys,
Okay.
if my voice is not clear. Okay. Thanks for noticing me. Hey, I got a response from the Dilkash. So full stack developer is a developer who work both. Yes, Dilkash, you are absolutely right. Full stack is a kind of combination of both front end and back end concepts. So that's what meant by full stack. But it's not only covers with front end and back end. Apart from this, it covers the server related knowledge. Uh, Again, I got exited from the meeting. Okay, so I was starting saying about the full stack. So it's a combination of front end and the back end, as one of the participants says, right? So, but it's not only limited to front end and back end. It's again the knowledge about the kind of DevOps related stuff. So when we say DevOps, so it's not anything you should know. At least the server related configuration, like to host your front end, to host your back end. So what kind of server container will use? What kind of first methodology will you use preferred? Like let's say to host the front end, will you prefer Apache, Tomcat, or Nginx kind of server? So these kind of knowledge also a full stack developer should be aware of. So that's all about the full stack combinations. Okay. So as you see in the screen, a full stack developer is a person who develop both client and server software, right? So when we say client, it's nothing but a web UI page.
Trainer is facing network issue, I guess, guys. Very sorry for the inconvenience. He's facing some issues. I'm trying to reach the trainer. 1 minute, guys. Yeah, STP, what you want to ask? Yeah, raise your hand. Can you ask in the chat box? 15 minutes, students should practice whatever the trainer taught you on that session 2. You should practice in front of the trainer, so you won't forget the topics easily. Session 4, again 15 minutes for that day topics, and session 5, 10 minutes for students practice session. Session 6 is for 5 minutes. The students should recall whatever the trainer taught you on that day. You should taught him back to the trainer so that it will be useful for you. Why we are having that session 6 is, if you see this learning pyramid, if you discuss or if you take class about any technology, you will get 50% knowledge of the thing. If you teach others only, you will get 90% of the knowledge. So that is why we are having that session. We want everyone to get maximum knowledge from this technology, from our training. So great explain. We don't have any offline classes. We have online classes. And OneNotes, it all the topics taken in the classes, that should be taken in OneNotes, and those OneNotes should be shared with you. Mind map is nothing but it will tell it will tell how our mind works. Some people will grasp the topic easily. Some people will take time to learn. So that these things will tell you about the brain. No, the classes will be for cost. It's not free. Courses will be on cost. More information is like class notes with picture, diagrammatic flow explanation, then old training textbook in a single notebook, which is nothing but OneNotes. Fingertip materials. We will provide the recordings of each and every session. You will be getting the video recordings of the session you have been there. So if you go through that session, you will get the knowledge easily. And class notes and software. If any software needed, we will give you that. If any license software means, we will provide the license software for particular time, like 3 months or 6 months, according to the courses you are taken. So we will give the license software for temporary time period. Additional bonuses like free interview session. We will help you to prepare your resume. Lifelong support. If you have any doubt in the future, you can ask us. And professional, if you want to do any professional certification, the trainer will guide you to that. We will provide job links and LinkedIn recommendation also. How to set your profile and how to contact people in LinkedIn. Those things we will guide you. Any doubt, guys? I guess trainer has joined. If you have any doubts, changes, you can ask later. So now the trainer will take a class.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hi,
Gautam.
hi guys. Apologies for this. Let's start from where we left. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah, now it's fine, Gautam. Now it's
Okay.
good.
Thanks for the confirmation. Yeah. So as we were talking about full stack skills, right? So again, so coming to the same point, so it's a combination of front end and back end. So that's all we know. So if you guys are coming from the IT background, so of course you guys might be knowing what is front end and what is back end. So front end is nothing but whatever you see in the browsers today, right? When you open the Google Chrome or whatever, Firefox or Microsoft Edge Explorer and all. So whatever you see in the website, that is generally we call it as a front end. But to do that kind of logic, like when you save the forms or when you fetching some kind of information, so those kind of data which will be coming from the backend. So nothing but backend is a kind of code which is written in any kind of language or scripting language. So that is generally we call it as a backend, which is hosted in somewhere in the with help of any kind of cloud services, or it can be a own our hosting mechanism. So, but yeah, so this is what front end and back end concept is mean, right? So here you can see there are the different types of full stacks. So we have mean, MERN. So these are the technical terms. So let me explain what is mean, MERN, and all. But these are the different types of full stacks actually in the market. You can see. So the popular among this is mean, MERN, Java full stack, scene. So these are the popular among these different types of full stack. Okay, and in our full course training also, we will be covering mean, MERN. Okay, so these two things we will be covering in our full course, our full course training. Okay, so let me explain what is mean. So each letter explains about different skills. Okay, so M is meant for MongoDB, that is related to the database. Okay, MongoDB is a NoSQL database, and E explains about ExpressJS, that is related with the backend concept. Okay, which is closely working with the nodejs, that is nothing but N, which is in the last mean, right? The N stands for nodejs. Nodejs is our backend scripting language. Okay, which is running with the help of a JavaScript. Okay, and A stands for Angular. So Angular is a web framework which is to write the front end related coding. Okay, and in the MERN, so everything stands the same. M for Mongo, E for Express, N for Node.js. But instead of Angular, so here we will be using the reactjs. Okay, so yeah, so I got a message from in the chat box from the participant, so they clearly explains these different terms. Yeah, that's good. So, but yeah, R stands for it's React. Okay, instead of Angular, we will be going with React. So there are the many pros and cons for Angular and React. We will be seeing that in the later sessions. And in the scene, everything stands the same, but instead of MongoDB, we use the Cassandra DB. So database, it's why we are choosing different database, because it's up to the business logic or the project what we are going to work on. Let's say we need to develop some kind of e-commerce website, so there could be a different database will be preferred, because there will be a huge load and all, right? So there it could be a Postgres SQL, and there can be chances of using NoSQL also there, like MongoDB, Cassandra, kind of those things. So it depends. So it depends on the project. So, but at least having a kind of skill set of one NoSQL database and one SQL database is added advantage in full stack. Okay, it's nothing mandatory that you should learn this or that. So, but adding up all the skill set, it will be added one. Okay, and the Java full stack. So in Java full stack, instead of Node.js, so we will be taking the backend as Java concepts. Okay, but there it's a huge concepts involved there. Java, J2E, Spring Boot, Hibernate. So a number of concepts are there in that. So if you wanted to become a Java full stack. Okay, and others are like Python, LAMP, Django, Stacks, so Ruby on Rails. These are not generally mostly used. So, but in such kind of some kind of platforms, these texts has been used. Okay. Any doubt here, guys? If not, I can move to the next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. So coming to the, we talked about front end and back end, right? So now we need to know about what are the skills are coming under the front end and what are the skills are coming under back end, right? So when we say front end, so mostly these are the basic things. So HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So if you are guys are from the IT background, so you might be aware of what is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript does, right? So HTML, CSS is nothing but it's a markup language. HTML is a markup language, which is like a last 20 to 25 years we have been using this HTML, and we have the HTML5 under the latest versions also. Okay, with that we develop a sample web page or a kind of normal web page, not a kind of fantasy one. But nowadays, so adding to the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, so there are the web framework or the library. So React is a library, but Angular is a front-end framework actually. So what is the difference between framework and library? So library is nothing but it just serves minimal things to the front end. Okay, so React is not having a whole set of front end technologies. Okay, but Angular does. So when I say framework, Angular will be holding the routing technology and animation technology and of course the other related life cycle hooks, those things and all, and testing of course. So unit testing, so everything is packed in the Angular. Okay, but in the case of React, so it's just a library. So React should depend on other libraries actually to make it suffix. Okay, so like the routing technology, it depends on another library. Okay, that is called React router. Okay, and okay, I got a ping. So, okay, please use a general language. Don't use Hindi. So please use a common language, English. Okay. So I'm not able to understand what you are trying to ask. Okay, coming to the point. Yeah, that's what. So Angular and React, so comparing between the framework and the library. Okay, but it's not like React is having lesser compared to the Angular. So React has different pros when compared with Angular. Okay, it is very fastest than Angular on the performance based. Okay, so many pros and cons are there. And coming to the backend skills, so these are the skill sets. At least you should know any one of these. Okay, so coming to the database, so I said that there is a SQL database and NoSQL database. So the difference between SQL and NoSQL, it's a SQL is a structured relationized database. Okay, so there can be a relation between the two tables and all. Okay, but in NoSQL, so there is no relationship at all between the tables or between the documents. So let's see it further in the further documents. And coming to the language part, so we saw about Node.js. So if you guys in a front end skills, you can see, right, JavaScript, right? So if you know JavaScript, because Node.js, so Node JavaScript, so Node.js is running on top of the JavaScript engine only. So if you know the JavaScript concepts, it will be easier for you to pick up your Node.js related concepts. So that is a kind of added thing if you go for Node.js. Okay, and of course Java, so and Python. So these are the languages, different languages you should be at least knowing any one of them. Okay. And coming to your questions, I will ask in the further things. Okay, if you have any questions, please drop me in the chat box. So moving to the next slide. Yeah, coming to the advantages. So of course we should know what is the advantage of a full stack, right? So for the first thing, you can be master in everything. So when I say master, so if you are from the IT background, okay, let me tell you how IT background works. So in a particular project, there will be a separate team for backend, there will be a separate team for front end, and there will be a separate team for server related technologies, and so on. So these are the many units will be working in the kind of IT fields. But when we say as a full stack, so full stack is nothing but you will work in a back end, you will work in a front end, you will be working in the server related technologies as well. So it's not limited to one part. So of course, in that perspective, so you'll be the master in your project, right? So that's the added advantage, one of the thing. And you can provide a help to the other team members who don't have the full stack exposure, and it will reduce the cost of the project as well. So instead of the management hire front end and back end as a two resources, so they will straightforwardly look for one full stack guy who is having the particular knowledge. So these are some of the advantages, as you can see. And the main thing is you can switch between the front and back end also at any time. So there can be a chance that your project will be having only work working in only front end or working in only back end. So that kind of places you can switch between your front end and back end, right? Of course. So these are the advantages which we can see. And moving to the next slide, let me tell the different go kind of brief about each skill set which we saw before in this before slides. Okay, HTML. So HTML, of course, it stands for this is the abbreviation, hypertext markup language. So this is being used to create a web pages. So web pages and a dynamic web page, not the dynamic web pages, but kind of animations. So those parts can be covered with the help of the HTML, and it's a structure of web page. And in a web page, everything you can see right in the button, and there will be a kind of paragraph of text. So these and all will be considered as a different series of elements, which you can see in the screen in the fourth bullet point. So div and paragraph tag, span tag, and many more. It's not limited to these three, and it's many more like image tag. So that will be very interesting if you're not coming from the IT background. So if you're not knowing the HTML, so these will be interesting and. With the help of these tags, div, paragraph, span, image, figure, section. So there are a number of tags. With that, you can create a number of web designing components in the UI page. Okay. When I say UI page, it is nothing but it's a user interface page. So whatever we see in the website, right? And of course, HTML elements will help the browser to display the content as per the different tags. Okay. And we can see label pieces of content such as this is heading, this is a paragraph, right? So nothing but to display, to differentiate the heading and the paragraph or some kind of heading of a section and the content of the section. So there will be different tags also involved in HTML. Okay, so that is a different, this HTML itself, there are a number of concepts behind it. So we need to learn a depth around it. So, but yes, of course, we will be covering in the full stack, in the full course training. Okay, and HTML extension. Of course, every file will be having a different extension, right? When you see Java, so it will be having .java. When you see Python related script, it will be having extension of .py, and JavaScript related things .js. So of course, same way. So HTML extension also, it can be a .html or .htm. Okay, that is that file extension. Okay, coming to the next slide. Here you can see a kind of sample HTML kind of tag. So if you render this, if you if you try maybe in the offline, if you try this and if you save this as a .html file, so you can render this in your browser. So it will just display your full stack webinar. Welcome all to this webinar. This is how the syntax will be. So there will be HTML tag, inside HTML tag, head tag. The title is nothing but, if you have noticed in the Google Chrome, there will be a tab, right? In the tab, there will be some kind of title, right? There some kind of names will be displaying, right? Gmail or Facebook. So those are nothing but this title. That is a page title, we call it as, and the body of the your web page. So in the body, so we will be using different elements, series of elements, h1 tag, p tag, div tag, span tag, which we saw in the before slide. So this is how the structure of HTML coding. If any doubts, please ping me, ping in the chat box, guys. So, and moving to the next topic. Yeah, coming to the CSS, again, it's one of the front-end skill set. So this is CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. So the name itself says, right, style sheets. So this skill is helping you to style the elements, HTML elements. So whatever the HTML elements we saw in the before slides, right? So the div tag, h1 tag. So those contents, whatever you're displaying in that h1 tag, those contents you can provide some kind of styles to it. So styles in the sense like the color to it, or the size of the H1 tag, you can increase it, or many things not related only to the color or the size. So like hiding the things, like hiding the H1 tag or displaying it, or having some kind of transaction like animation kind of thing. So with the help of CSS, you can do a lot of kind of animations as well, right? So CSS helps us to do those kind of fantastic things. Okay, so in CSS also there are three different kind of concepts: internal CSS, internal styles, external styles, and there is another concept called inline styles. Yeah, so these are the three different concepts are there. So, and external style sheet is kind of .css files we will be importing to our HTML file. So that's how external style sheet will be used. But internal style sheet will be used within the same HTML file. Okay, so we will see this in a deeper way in our next upcoming courses. Okay, and moving to the next slide. So here you can see a kind of style sample example of styles, how it will be. So let's say I wanted to complete HTML document what we see in the browser, right? I wanted to put a background color for that, so light blue. So you need to put that in the body tag. So okay, and I said, right, as I gave example H1 tag, we need to color only the H1 tag in some other way, and the text aligning like center or left or right, this kind of stuffs we will be doing here in the CSS part. So this, whatever the style tag, inside the style tag you see, right? So that is your CSS part. Okay, so where you can give a font family. Font family is nothing but there are the different styles of displaying the fonts are there, right? So like a slanting italic fonts, Arabic fonts. So those kind of font styles can be given to each tags. Okay, so this is the sample one. And moving to the next one. So next, again, one of the front-end skill set is JavaScript, of course. So this is the main thing, because the same JavaScript concept we will be using in the one of the back-end skill set called nodejs. Okay, so this is an object-based scripting language. So there is a difference between Java and JavaScript. So Java is completely a OOPS concept, but JavaScript, it's not a kind of a complete OOPS concept. So it's an object-based scripting language. Okay, and it is used as a client-side technology, but with the help of a JavaScript engine, as I mentioned. So nodejs is created, so that is used for the backend technology. So when we say giving more control in the browser, so what does that mean, giving more control? So helping the HTML. So now here the concept of events are coming. Okay, so let's say we have a tag called button in the HTML. Okay, so but when you click on the button, so you wanted to do some kind of logic or some kind of functional things. Okay, let's assume when you click on the button, you need to add some two inputs, like user is giving kind of 100 plus 200. Okay, so when you click on button, so you need to display that addition of these two numbers. So how you can achieve it? So with the help of a JavaScript, you can achieve them. So that's what giving more control in the browser, like you event based trigger when you're clicking on button. So you can call a JavaScript function, so where you can do this kind of activities. So that's what one of the point you can see, event handling. So when I say event handling, that is the stuffs, and it's a lightweighted, of course. So there is no much bigger concepts involved in a JavaScript, and it is an interpreter based scripting language. So the different bit, there are the two different kind of like there is a compiler and there is an interpreter languages are there. So Java and all, it's a compiler based one. So interpreter means it when it runs in the browser itself, so that time only the line by line execution will happen. So that is what interpreter means. Okay, and handling with dates and time. So like you see, right, date and all, right, not only with the local date and time. So like US, UK, so different time zone times also can be fetched from with the help of a JavaScript. And the validation of user inputs. When we say validation of user inputs, you might have saw in different number of browsers, right? this is not a valid email ID, or this is not password should be this much character and all. So those kind of validation can be done with the JavaScript. Okay, and looping statements, of course, every language will be having that. So coming to the next slide. So what JavaScript can do? Yeah. Here these are the kind of syntax things. So if you guys not aware of this, so don't worry. So we can cover this in our full-time course. Okay. So but yeah, this is how you can like print some contents also from with the help of a JavaScript. So this is how, and you can set some font size or kind of different style sheet also. Like, so what we are trying to say here is you can change the HTML contents also, and you can apply some kind of CSS also from the JavaScript. So that's what we are trying to put it here. Okay, so JavaScript can change the HTML content, and it can change the HTML attribute values also. So, and it can change the CSS as well. So this is what JavaScript can do. So not only to this, limited to this, so it does more other things as well. Coming to the next slide, you can see the kind of sample JavaScript function. So under the script tag, inside the script tag, so you can see a function name called change. Okay, so this is a sample function, how it the syntax of the function is. What we are trying to do here is when we click on something, so we will be calling this change function. So in the change function, what we are doing is we are trying to change the background color for that particular ID. Okay, so to the right. Okay, so it's like when you're clicking on the button, so there will be some changes will happen in your screen. So that's what this particular code does. Okay, so this is a sample thing. So but there are a number of fantastic things can be done in our full course. So coming to the next slide. The Angular, one of the web framework which we have talked about. So open source JavaScript framework. So it is been it's developed by Google. Sorry, it's not developed by Google. So it was developed by the two members, and it's been maintained and acquired by Google now. And Angular uses TypeScript, and it's a single page application. So when we say a single page application, so it means like in a like a traditional in a like olden days website. If you see, when you want to navigate from one page to other page, there will be a kind of reload will happen. So a number of kind of refresh things will happen in your browser. So that is a traditional way of doing the things. Okay. So but currently in the latest modern era, so you can see every websites will not do a kind of refresh or reload in your browser. Okay, so it's a kind of dynamic way it will happen. So like a request and response to the server, so everything will happen in a dynamic way. It will not hard refresh or hard reload your server at all. So that this kind of application, we call it as a single page application. Okay, so when and with the help of Angular, you can, of course, you can design the mobile apps as well. So from the Google Play Store you are downloading, right? So those kind of applications also you can download with the help of Angular. So how? So with the same Angular technology, there is another framework called Ionic. But coding and the concept will be from the Angular, but you will be using a kind of third party, another one called Ionic mobile app framework. So that Ionic mobile app framework will help to build the APK and all, so for your mobile application. Okay, so this is where Angular comes. So Angular has a number of concepts, so and it has different versions also. So currently Angular in 12th or 11th or 12th versions, I forgot it, but yeah, so it started from Angular 2, so the latest things of Angular. So actually it started from Angular JS, nothing but Angular 1, and now it is in 11 or 12. So coming to the next slide, Angular features. Okay, so these are the features, like as I mentioned, animations, and you can build native mobile apps, and client side routing. So routing means like jumping to one page to another page. So those kind of routing concepts. So but in React, it needs to come from the another library, not from React. Okay, and end-to-end integration testing and unit testing and all. So of course every developer should be aware of testing, like unit testing and integration testing. So when you in IT field, when you write each code, so you need to write a kind of unit testing for that code also. So kind of this is, we call it as automation testing or unit testing. Okay, and component based approach. So don't worry, so this unit testing and all we will be covering in our full stack course. And component based approach. So whatever you see in the screens website, so everything is divided as a components in Angular. So in Angular or React as well, the same way. So it is divided based as a component. Each boxes or each things, whatever you see in the websites, that is categorized as a components. Okay, so that is a kind of reusable things and easy to update that particular component itself. So that's how we're doing. And the two-way data binding, that is one of the key feature in Angular. So we will see that in detail. And coming to the next slide. So Chrome developer tools. Okay, so this is the basic thing we should be aware. So this is not a kind of separate skill set, but it's one of the key thing every developer, front-end developer should aware of. So when how to debug from the Google Chrome or any kind of browsers like Firefox and also. Okay, so but I mentioned here just a Chrome dev tools, but you should be aware of other like web software tools as well. So where you can debug your code and kind of you can find the sources of your code. If let's say you are developing your one of the website, UI website, web front-end website. Okay, so but it is not running in the Google Chrome, so it is throwing some error. To find that error, so you need to open the Google Chrome tools and all. So there you need to start debugging kind of stuffs. Okay, so these things we can. So there are many things involved here. So kind of application tab where you can see the local storage, cookies related stuff. So those a number of things is kept under the dev tools. So not only in the Chrome. So every browsers will having the same. So we will detailedly see in the our next sessions. Coming to the next one, now it's moving to the backend Node.js. So this is again one of the backend language, and it is, as I said, it is running. It is uses the JavaScript engine, right? And it is having the extension. Node.js also having the same kind of extension. Okay, so it's not a different extension compared with the JavaScript. JavaScript also .js, and it is also .js. Okay, and Node.js is independent of any kind of OS platforms. So Windows, Linux, or Unix, whatever it would be. Okay, and it's Node.js follows a kind of event-based approach, and that's why we call Node.js. We call it as a single-threaded one. So that's a kind of pure technical concept. So we will come to that part. But yeah, it is an open source server environment. Moving to the next slide, here we can see kind of sample code. What this code does is, so when you run this file, when you run this file, so you are starting a server, Node.js server, which is listened to 4000 port. And when you hit that localhost 4000 in your browser or wherever in the terminal, so the hello world will be printed. Okay, so this is just a sample request or the sample code of Node.js. Okay, we will see further many things with the help of the Express.js and all. So next, coming to the relational database, next slide. Here you can see when we say relational database, so nothing but SQL. So there are the two different types of database we saw in the previous slides, right? So one is SQL and another one is a NoSQL. So when we say SQL, that is nothing but relational databases. So it's a collection of data items with a predefined relationship between them. So nothing but there will be a relationship between the two tables or so and so. These items are organized as a set of tables with columns and rows. Okay, and it's a straightforward. So there will be a primary key concept and foreign key concept. So nothing but you are referring one of the record from one table with the another table. So that is what relational database. Okay, so the name says that, right? So relational. So there is some relation between the set of data. Okay, that's what we call it as a relational database. Moving to the next slide. So some of the examples of relational database. So MySQL is one of the relational database. Not only MySQL, so we have a number of things: MS SQL, Oracle SQL, Postgres SQL, and so on. So now we have Azure SQL also. So here you can see it comes under open source, and it is a relational database management system, and it is every different database like MySQL, MS SQL it has its own pros and cons. So, but yeah, one of the best in the market is MySQL. It's a fast and easy to use. Coming to the next slide, the sample queries, how it looks. So you can see it here. So how to create a database, the first query you can see. And the third one, you can see how to create a table to the database and how to do some kind of queries. So this every lines you can see it is a queries. We call it as a query. Okay. So inserting some records to the table, updating some record or some data, or deleting some data. So this kind of interesting stuff we will be doing. That's just a sample. And coming to the next slide, a NoSQL database. So we saw about SQL database in the previous slides. Can we move to the next slide, please? Yeah, so we saw the SQL databases in the previous slide. So now coming to the NoSQL. So as I mentioned in the initial, NoSQL will not have any kind of relational things between the tables. Okay, so it don't have any kind of relational, so it's not uses any kind of data structures concept and all, but it makes sense in such a way that it is making some operation faster, and it solves some kind of traditional problems which we had in SQL databases. Okay, and these databases are schema free. When we say schema free, that's what. So it is not coming with the same kind of data structure. But in a SQL database, if you create one table, the same data structure of table, so the same schema you need to be used. Like if data has 2 rows, so that the same 2 rows data only can be inserted, but it's not the case in NoSQL. Okay, so coming to the next slide. So NoSQL databases. So there are the many databases in NoSQL like MongoDB, Cassandra, and I don't remember the other database, but there are a number of in the market. Yeah, Neo4j, that is a graphical databases. So, but one of that is Cassandra. It's coming from Apache, and it has its own advantage. Like it will do faster reading. So where there is a project or the requirement where you need to perform more reading kind of operations. So there in that case you can prefer Cassandra. Okay, so and it is one of the type of NoSQL. So and it is easy to to scale in the future. So when we say scale, so every database we should consider, if data grows, so we need to scale the database, right? So to hold the huge data. So Cassandra will be one of the easiest database which can scale easily. So moving to the next slide, so you can see a kind of tables where it says difference between the relational and NoSQL databases. Okay, so it supports transactions, does not support transaction. When we say transaction, it is a one of the technical concept in database. So where you need to execute kind of parallel, it's not parallelly. So you need to make sure that there are 3. Let's assume there are 3 queries. So you need to make sure that all the 3 queries executed successfully. So that is a kind of transactions concept called a transaction. Okay, that is supported in relational databases, but not in NoSQL. But coming to the next thing, supports very simple query language in NoSQL, but it relational database it is different. Okay, so when we say Git and version control, so of course you need to know about Git and version control. So nothing much. So whatever the code you are doing in the everyday, right? So that you need to put it in your kind of common place, so that the other developers in your team can be accessed to it, and he can work on top of that, right? So we will be teaching what is Git and the famous commands of Git also. So moving to the next page, so where you can see the common used Git commands. So these are the top useful Git commands. So we will be covering that as well in the full stack course. And moving to the next slide. Thank you guys. I think this session makes sense at least. And moving to the next, any questions? You guys can drop me a chat if there are any questions, and you can raise a questions in the like the courses which AP Trainings offers as well, like which you saw in the some 1 hour before, the slides which host shared. Okay.
If you guys have any doubt, you can ask the trainer in the chat box. He will clear. We'll wait for 5 or 10 minutes. How many days required to become full stack developer? Duration. Gautam, we are taking for 30 days, right? Class 30 days.
Actually, it is a hours based, so there will be around 40 to 50 hours of class. So people who are interested, so we can share them a kind of schedule sheet. So I have that schedule sheet. So if they are
Syllabus
interested,
kind of things, right?
yes, syllabus kind of things, what we will be covering. Yep.
Fees will be told in the previous next sessions, upcoming sessions. So duration will be 40 to 50 hours for this full stack. For average, it will be 30 hours, but as it is a full stack, it will cover lots of technology. So it will take 40 to 50 hours. So it might be 60 classes, 50 classes, 40 to 50 classes. Any other questions, guys, regarding the concept we have explained? Yes, 40 to 50 hours. Each classes will be 75 minutes. So each classes will be 75 minutes, so it will take 40 classes. Daily one class, so that is 75 minutes. Gautam, can you answer this question? Is it sure to complete this course within 60 hours?
Okay, coming to that point, see, as we saw a number of skill sets, right? So in AP trainings, we offer a separate training for each skill set as well, if you wanted to learn in depth. Okay, so but as a full stack course, so we will be covering the kind of advanced topics, but not as a in-depth. Okay, because what are the skills we saw, right? Let's take example HTML, JavaScript, Angular. So those each skill set itself requires some 30 to 40 hours of time if you want to learn in depth on that. Okay, but when we talk about a guy who wants to get into a full stack developer job role in the market, so in that perspective, we will be covering this training. Okay, so of course you will be knowing kind of knowledge in all the stacks what we saw in this presentation. Yeah, we will be covering in that particular time frame 40 to 50 hours kind of concept which you will be aware, and you can code yourself as a back end and front end technologies.
Yes, if you want to learn each and everything like Java, if you want to learn Java in depth, there will be separate courses will be conducted. And if you want to learn Python in depth, or if you want to learn React in depth, and if you want to learn Angular in depth, it will be separate things are there. If you learn altogether in full stack, as he said, to get into the full stack developer jobs in the IT field, you can get that with this 60 hours, 40 to 50 hours of class. Fees will be discussed in later session. No, we will help you to attend we will help you in the interviews, but we can't provide placements. Sorry.
So I wanted to ask that is the reactjs, nodejs, and all same, and React and Vue are same?
Sorry, I couldn't get that question. Can you repeat?
I wanted to ask that React.js and Vue.js are the same, or which is the better one to use, and which is the easier to
Okay.
learn?
So yeah, so Vue.js also like one of the framework which is used for front end, but in the market and compared with the Vue, React is the best and easy to learn as well.
Any other doubt, guys? If you have doubt regarding the course, that will be you can ask later. If you have doubt during about this full stack, you can ask now. About the schedule, price, and if you want to learn other technology, you can ask later, not now. Please ask the questions which is regarding to the sessions he conducted before. So we will ask other doubts in later session. Any other doubt regarding the full stack class which he take now before? Any other doubt, guys? Any other queries? If you don't have a doubt also, you can paste it in the chat box. No, no kind of projects. We can help you with the projects, but there is no projects available with us. If you want to do anything in your project, we can help you with that, but we don't have any project with us. Any other question regarding full stack, guys? We'll wait for 2 or 3 minutes, Gautam, for others to ask any doubts. If you don't have any doubt also, please place it as you don't have any doubt, so that we can move to next session, guys. Please be interactive, please. Okay, thanks, Naveen. Others? Okay. We will provide a feedback form later. That will be final session. Gautam, Supriya asked, is full stack developer is good career? As far as I know, it is a good career. You can go in backend developer, you can go as a front-end developer. So that will be good. So what about your opinion?
Yeah, of course. So, as we talked, right, I gave one example in how IT field works, right? So, team requires a full stack guy or a backend or a server technology guy. So, of course, to develop one kind of website or one kind of project, so these all the skill set is mandatory in the market. So, and as you guys know, IT field always changes, like every decade you can say. So each skill set will go down and another skill set will be coming. But when we say front end back end, that is a concept will be there for more time. Okay, so still as I remember, so like last 20 to 25 years, this JavaScript is surviving still. So it will not go off. So maybe today React and Angular is the best in the market, but tomorrow there is another one will come. So but as I can see for the next 1 to 2 decades, so these are the technical stacks will rule the IT world. So of course, being a full stack developer, so you can survive in the IT field. But to survive always in the IT field, so you need to update yourself every time. So that's what a kind of feedback from me. But yeah, answer to your question, yes, it is relevant now in the current technical stacks in the IT market. And of course, it will help you to learn kind of AI technologies as well. So that is a one more key point. With the help of full stack developer, you can learn AI technology as well. That is another booming in the market. I hope I cleared your doubt.
And Sai is asking, what's the main difference in front-end development and back-end development?
I think we already talked about this. So front-end development is nothing but where you develop a kind of website pages. So a dynamic website could be a dynamic or static website pages. So website, when we say website, it's whatever you see in the daily, the browsers, right? Like let's say you're opening Facebook in Google Chrome. So that is a website. So to develop that, there will be in the background, there will be a technical stacks is present. So that is what we call it as a front end. And back end, to serve the data, to save the data, to play with the data. So you can't do that with the help of front end itself. So you need another technology or skill set which is hosted in the server side, that will help you to fetch or do the CRUD operations with the help of the data. So that's where backend concept comes into the place. I think it makes sense.
Thanks, Gautam. That was wonderful explanation. Any other doubt, guys, so that we can move to next session? And I don't want to take much time from you. No, Supriya. even I was a full stack developer. I was a starting stage, so it's not a hard. Okay. So you can move into any. If in full stack you will learn 3 or 4 technologies from each and every sector, like front end, back end, and databases. So in four languages, anything will give a hand to you. So it will be good to be a full stack developer. Any other question, guys? Yeah. Any other guys? If you guys don't have any question, we can move into next session. Is that fine? Shall we move to next session? Okay. As I said before, we are not providing any placement kind of thing. We will guide you to prepare resume and we will guide you to attend interview kind of thing. So we will guide you to get into the job, but we are not providing any placement. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Guys, shall we move to next session? I will wait for 1 or 2 minutes, then we will move to next session. Okay. Exact 1 minute, we will move on to next session. Thanks, Gautam, and it was a very wonderful session. And you have almost give a basic concepts of all technologies like Node.js, Angular, React, Java, Python. You have given almost overview of everything. So it is good, and I think you knows all the technologies. So it's showing you are good in those things.
Thank you, guys. And one just a last thing I wanted to add. So it will be very interesting if you guys wanted to learn a full stack. So and I'm sure you will get a new job if you're not having a job, or you can switch to a better job. In a full stack skill sets. So I think with that I can end. So yeah, please continue.
Yeah, and from my point of view, being a full stack, it's like a kind of entertainment. Like you will see a front end output and as well as back end output. So you will know how everything works. If you are a back end developer, you know just how the logics and all process, but you don't know how it is showing the front end. If you are full stack developer, you will know end to end how it is how it is showing in the browser and how it is processing everything. You will know. So I know that. That's why I just added this point. Okay, guys, we'll move on to next session. It's already late. I will give a fast walkthrough to this student guide. So I have already explained this before. Anyway, I'm giving fast walkthrough. We have a IPT 5 forces, simple learning methodology. Students recall, creative explanation, and fingertip materials, additional bonuses. And this is the timings we are following in our classes. Each classes will be conducted at 75 minutes. First session will be for doubt clearing and yesterday class question. Second session is for that day topics. And third session, you have to practice whatever the trainer taught you on session 2. And session 4 is for 15 minutes. That day topics will be covered. Session 5 for practice and session 6 for recall. The student should teach the trainer what he has taught in the previous session. Why we are having that session 6 is because of this learning pyramid. If you see this learning pyramid, you will get 50% knowledge when you discuss or if you are learning. You will get 90% of the knowledge only when you teach others. We want everyone to get maximum knowledge from our AP trainings. That's why we are having that session. Creative explanation, e-learning, e-coaching, and collaborative learning virtual classroom. You will be having like a online class. So the trainer will teach you online, and we will give a recordings of those session as well. And you will have the notes, whatever. The notes will be taken in this one notes, and each and every classes, the notes will be taken, and those notes will be shared with you. You can access at any time. Mind map is nothing but it will tell how our mind works. More information like class will be taken with the picture representation, diagrammatic flow explanation, and the whole training textbook will be in a single notebook, that is OneNotes. Materials like video recordings, class notes, and the documents. If you have any syllabus or PDF, we will share with you. And the software, if any software is licensed, means we will give the license software for temporary time. If you take a full course and if you have any license software, we will give it for 3 or 6 months. Additional bonuses like we will conduct a free interview session. Interviews will be taken by our trainer and help you to prepare resume, lifelong support, and we will guide you for any professional certification if you need to do, job links, and LinkedIn support. If you have any doubts in this, you can ask. I just gave a fast walkthrough because we have already go through this PPT. That's why. Any doubt, guys, in this? If you can, please bear with us for 10 more minutes. We will provide a feedback link in the end, and we will give a fee structure in the upcoming session. Okay, guys, we'll move on to the next session. That is APT offers. We are having two training model, that is full course and flash course. In full course, everything end-to-end concepts will be covered in the full course, and flash course, it will be covered only the main things. So whatever the important topics for the particular technology, those will be covered in flash course, and in full course, end-to-end concepts will be covered. Full course will be conducted in average of 30 to 40 hours, but as it is a full stack, it will take more than 50 hours. What's your doubt, Soumya? Can you ask? I just see only question mark. Okay. Full course will be, as I said, it will be 30 classes that will be conducted in 30 to 40 hours for other technologies. But as far as it is full stack and it is covering more than 2 or 3 technologies, so it will take more hours and more classes. So that is full course, and flash course will be conducted for 10 hours. That is like a kind of 2 days workshop. And if you want to take for more days, that can be arranged in flash course. So if you guys have any idea about what is the market price for this full stack developer course, if you have searched anywhere like what is the price for full stack developer, you can ping in the chat box, like what's your idea for the market price. Yeah. 36,000. Yeah, 36,000. Yes. Any other suggestion, guys? What do you think about the price in the market for full stack? Any other? Please be responsive, guys. So that will be good if you respond. I will provide the feedback form later this session. Please bear with us for 5 or 10 minutes. Anyone this idea about the market price for full stack? One has responded for 40,000. Okay, 45,000. Okay. So market price will be 40 to 50,000 for full course. On flash course, the price will be 10 to 50,000. In our AP trainings, we are not charging that much. That is like 40 to 50,000 for full course. In our AP training, the market price, the course price will be 25,000 for full course. Just 25,000 for the full course, and flash course, it is for 8,000. So what about this price, guys? What do you think? Is it affordable or costly, or what's your opinion in this? What do you think about this course price? So Two guys are saying it's affordable. Okay. And we are providing some offers who are joining this webinar. They will be having the offer like, for those, the course price is not 25,000. The people who join this webinar, if you join within 1 week, you will get the course for 22,000. You will get the full course for just 22,000, and flash course is for just 3,000. This offer is available for 1 week. Okay, if you join within 1 week, in the next week, you will get the full course for 22,000, and flash course is for 3,000. Is it affordable now? What's about the offer price, guys? Okay, two people are saying they are interested. And if you want to join immediately also, you can join immediately, and the trainings will be conducted in your preferred time. If you are okay with only with the weekend classes, we will take classes in the weekend only. Okay, if you want to take class around after our working time, like 7 or 8, even that is fine with us. The classes will be taken in your preferred time. Whatever time you prefer, that will be taken. Okay, so that is the major advantage in our training institute. The classes will be taken in your preferred time. So we are having a one more offer. Who joined this webinar today? That offer is 20,000 for full course. The people who join the course within 15 minutes, like before this class ends, if anyone joined, if anyone interested, means if anyone says interested, they will get the course for just 20,000. Whole full stack development course will be 20,000. Okay. If you see market price, that will be 40 to 50,000. We just gave almost 50 to 60% of discount. So the full course cost is 20,000, and flash course is for 2,000. Okay. If you join before this session close, if anyone is interested, means they can get the course for 20,000. Full course is for 20,000, and flash course is for 2,000. Okay. So please note it down. If you join within 1 week, you will get for 22,000. If you are interested, if you show interest with us within this session, you will get the offer for 20,000. Okay. So moving on to next slide. Special bonuses, like, as I said before, free interview session will be conducted, resume preparation, professional setting guidance, and lifelong community support. Advantages, as I said, you can clear queries at any time with the trainer. You can clear your doubts anytime. Okay. Training at your preferred time. The training will be conducted at your preferred time. If you want to take the class just in the weekend, you can get that. Okay. Recorded videos. We will provide the recorded videos. Whatever session you attend, those recorded videos will be shared with you immediately. So we will create a link in the Google Drive, and we will give access to that for you. Job links. And if you see salary production, as a fresher, if you join any institution, like if you join any job, you will get maximum up to 3.5 lakhs per annum without any certificate. If you have any certification, or if you have done any courses, you will get 5 lakhs per annum. So that is the advantage of clearing a external certification or having any course completions. Okay, so that is the major advantage. If without any course, without any knowledge, in deep knowledge, and without any having certification, you will get up to 3.5 lakh only as a fresher. If you have a external certification clearance, you will get up to 5 lakhs per annum. So that is the advantage, and think about that. One small step can change your life. This can be. So if you guys have any doubt, you can ask in the chat box. And anyone interested to join this course, you can ping this number. I have shared the contact number. If you are interested, please ping this number. If you show interest within this session, like within 8 o'clock, you will get the offer for 20,000. if anyone is interested, please contact through that. I have shared the feedback link, guys. Please give a proper Gmail ID and phone number so that you will get the certification to that mail ID. If anyone interested, please ping to that number. If anyone interested to join, please contact this number so that we will get in touch and we will get into the course. Yeah, is it done? Please fill the feedback form. So is it done? It is done. Yeah. If you guys, I have shared the link on above. Please, and I'm sharing again. Please fill the feedback form. Please fill that feedback form, and if anyone is interested to join the any course, if you want to join other courses like Python or Java, any course, please ping to this number. If you want to join any courses, we are providing some offers. Ongoing offers are there. If you want to join, please ping to this number. I have shared the feedback link again. Please give your feedback over there. Please contact us to this number if you want to join any courses. Any courses. Python, Java, we are having lots of courses, even communication classes are there. So if you want to join anything, please ping to that number. We will get into your organization. Okay, guys, we will wind off for now, and thank you so much. Certification will be given to you within 1 week. Okay, guys, thanks for your time, and we will wind off this session. And if you have any doubt or if you want to join, please ping to that number. We will provide some offers for you. Okay. Okay. Is that fine, guys? Shall we wind off? Please be responsive. It's like only I'm talking. Okay. Thank you, Sataf. Okay, guys. Thank you. Okay, we will wind off this session. Thanks. Thanks everyone for joining this webinar during even as it is a weekend, even you join and you have spent lots of time. Thanks, guys. I'm winding this call. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. If anyone want to join, please ping to that number. Don't forget to ping to that number. Thank you.